Hello everyone, welcome to my channel LearnIT. Today there will be a demo session for client script. If you are new to the channel, please like, share and subscribe to my channel LearnIT. Please watch my videos till the end for complete information. So let's see what is the agenda for today's session. So I will be covering today types of client script and one example for each of the type of client script. Okay, and as well as I would be covering some of the object and methods that can be used in our client script. So let's move to our ServiceNow instance and see how we can use our client script in ServiceNow instance. So let's move further and see how we can use it. As you can see, our ServiceNow instance is loaded. So let's move further and see how we can create client script and how we can use it. So let's search here client script. We can see we have options for catalog client script and client script. So let's talk about client script first, and on later session I will tell you about catalog client script. So this is our client script which is visible under system definition. So we can click here and we can see we are having lot of client script which are present out of the box in the system for all the tables in the system. As you can see, there are more than thousands of client script which is already existing in the system for out of the box. Okay, so we can click a new button here and we can create our client script. Okay, and another way is like we can redirect to our table and we can do the configuration changes for that particular table under client script. Okay, so let me click on new button here and see how our client script form looks, and I will explain you each of the configuration field in client script form. Okay, so let it load first and see how our client script configuration form looks. As you can see now, our form is loaded for client script configuration. You can see there is a name field where we can define the name of the client script, and here is the table where we can select the table like incident. If we have to apply some client script on incident table, so we can select our table as incident. And UI type, we can see there are desktop, mobile and service portal and all. So UI type will provide a target user interface to which client script applies. Okay, so we can use that way on various UI. Okay, so there are type field where we can select on salary, on change, on load, on submit. So these are the type of client script which will be created in the system. Okay, so let's move further and see what is this application. So application is selected as global whenever any client script is written as part of global tables. Okay, and we have active checkbox like whenever this client script has to be used, this checkbox has to be true, then only this client script will be executed. Okay, inherited, it will indicate whether client script applies to extended tables as well. Okay, so we are having a global check mark here. So global is like if it is true, client script runs on all views of the table. Okay, so we have description field where we can define how client script execute and what client script does. Okay, and messages we have like we can provide a text string which will be available to the client script as localized message using get message. Okay, suppose we have to get any message under client under scripting section, so we can define our message under message section. Okay, so scripting generally contains the script which will be executed on uh, this client script on some conditions or any type of client script. Okay, so isolate script, some explanation is written here. New client script are running in strict mode with direct DOM access disabled. Access to jQuery prototype and the window object are likewise disabled. To disable this on a per script basis, configure this form and add the isolate script field. To disable this feature for all new globally scoped client scripts, set the system property glide.script.block client.globals to false. Okay, so let's move further and see how we can create our client script. So I will give you an example one by one for all types of client script. Okay, so let me just give a name, test client script, and I will explain you one by one each type of client script, how we can use it and how we will be using it for incident table. Okay, so let me select here incident. So I have selected my incident table and I will select UI type as all, and I will be telling you about onload client script initially. Okay, so what is onload client script? You can see as soon as I have clicked on onload, there is a function which is preloaded for onload client script. Under this function only, this scripting section will be able to identify whether it is a onload client script or any other type of client script. Okay, and we can start our scripting here. Okay, so it will be running when the form is first loaded and before user can enter any data. So typically onload client script perform client side manipulation of current form or set default record values. Okay, it's like that. If on load of a form we can set the values or we can provide some pop-up on load of a form. Okay, so I will show you an example how we can execute this client script. So let me save it and see how this client script will be executed on incident form. So let's go to the incident form and see how our client script will execute. So I will open a list of incident here and I will open any incident. Suppose I am clicking on this incident. As you can see, this pop-up has started appearing because of our onload client script. So hi from onload client script. As soon as the form is loaded, our client script is executed. Okay. So let me click on OK, and you can see the form is completely loaded now. Our onload client script is also executed. Okay, suppose we have to set any value in the system on load of a form, we can do that as well. So suppose these are all default values which is already some of the default values that are already populated, but this record is already created one. Okay, if suppose we have to set this short description or description, we have to change this short description, so we can do that. Okay, so let me show you how set value works here. So these are the glide form class which will be using for certain methods, like glide form means like g underscore form dot. You can see there are multiple options when we are utilizing glide form class. So we can do error message, info message, and we can clear the message. We can do multiple things as part of glide form class. So what I am doing is like I will be doing set value, and we can do set mandatory, set read only, set visible, set value. Okay, so I will be using set value here. So this is the field name, and let me replace the text. Okay, let me save it and see how our script executes on incident form. So let me reload the form again. So first this alert will be showing up, and then as soon as we will click OK, so you can see the description is replaced by our text. Okay, so it is replaced by our text. Okay, so this is executed. And same way we can provide some message also. Suppose g underscore add info message, g form dot add error message. Okay, so what will happen, this message will be displaying. And now I will do alert and get value for state. Okay, so alert g underscore form dot get value state. Okay, so let me save it and see how our client script will be executed. Okay, so let me reload this form again and see there will be a lot of things that will be executed. We will see first alert is executed, and then we have a status value. I have done a alert for a state value, so we are getting a value 1 for this new status. And as soon as I will click on OK, our description will replace, and we have got a message. This is info message and this is error message, right? So this is really interesting. We can use it in multiple tables like incident, so it is executing this way. And there are multiple methods and classes under this g underscore form class. We can use like for setting mandatory or setting read only. So I can show you that also. So let me set one of the field mandatory also. Okay, so this is all about onload client script. So I will explain you about on change client script as well. Okay, so let's move further and see how we can create a on change client script. Okay, so let me go to a new type of client script. Suppose let me just do inactive this client script and create new client script here. So another type of client script I will be explaining you about will be about on submit. Okay, I will select my table as incident. Okay, I will select UI type all and type I will be selecting on submit. Okay, and on submit client script, what it is like, it will be running when a form is submitted. So typically on submit script validate things on the form and ensure that the submission makes sense. On submit client script can cancel form submission by returning a value of false. Okay, if suppose some inappropriate value is added on the form and we are trying to submit our client script, then it will provide a error, or we can just remove we can just return false so that it form will not be submitted. Okay, So let me show you example how on submit execute first. Okay, so just let me just execute alert on those on submit client script and show you how on submit client script executes. So let me save this record for client script and see how our, let me reload the form. Okay, so this is our form. Now how our client on submit client script will be executed is like, let me submit this record, let me enter some values. Suppose I have added a CAV approval assignment group, and then as soon as I will do save or update, our on submit client script will be executed. So as soon as I have clicked on save, our alert is starting pop up on submit client script. So if we click on OK, our form will be saved. You can see our form is saved, right? If suppose we want to return like false, we don't want to save the record on certain values, or if some wrong value is populated in the system. Okay, so if suppose we can check lot of things here, we can check the caller name, we can fetch the value and check whether the value is correctly added in the incident. Okay, so suppose what I will do is like, let me take another example like I have shown you alert. I will show you how we can return false if some value is not correct. Okay, if like I will check if subcategory, if service is kept as empty. Okay, so business underscore service is the field name. So g underscore form dot get value business underscore service. Okay, g underscore form dot add error message. Okay, so let me save this type of client script and let me reload the form again, and let's try to submit this form again. As you can see, our service is empty and this error is started. It is not submitted. This form will not be submitted. You can see the error message is popping up. Okay, as soon as we will select all as service and we will try to save, this form will get saved because there is some value in service field. Okay, so we have checked the condition like whether this field service field is containing any values or not. So I have checked the null and throwing an error message and returning false. Okay, so this is mostly used for validation purpose whenever any form is submitted. Okay, so this is all about on submit type of client script. Okay, so let's move further and see how we can use on change client script. So let's start on another type of client script, that is on change. Okay, so let me click on client script again and try to create another client script for on change. So let me type the name for test client script for on change. Okay, so I will select my table here as incident. I have selected incident here and I will select UI type all and I will select on change. So now previous two type of client script we didn't get any parameters inside function on load, function on submit, but you can see function on change here. Okay, so function on change we are having different parameters like control, old value, new value, is loading, is template. Okay, so first I will tell you about on change client script and what are all these parameters inside on change function. Okay, so on change client script generally runs when a particular field value changes on the form. Okay, so on change client script must specify various parameters like control, old value, new value, is loading, is template. Okay, so we can see here we have selected a type on change and we have to define the field name as well, because we have to check on what field value changes we want to execute some change. Okay, so let me select assignment group. When any assignment group is changing or yeah, so let it be assignment group. So as soon as assignment group is changed, we will execute this client script. Okay, all right, so we can I will tell you about what are all those parameters. So first parameter is control. So this is the DHTML widget whose value is changed. Okay, and control is not accessible in mobile and service portal. This will be working only on desktop view. Okay, so next is old value, the value the widget had when the record was loaded. Okay, and new value, the value when the widget has after the change, whenever any field value is changed, so that would be considered as new value. Is loading. Is loading identifies whether the change occur as part of a form load or not. So we can use this on change client script as part of on load client script as well. Okay. So what is template one? Is template identifies whether the change occurs as part of template load. Okay. If we are utilizing any template on incident form, then this parameter will be executing. Okay. So we will type something and we will check whether our client script will execute correctly or not when assignment group changes. So let me add here. Okay, so let me try to save. So this is our script which is saved now, and let me try to reload the form again and change the assignment group and see whether our client script is executing or not. Okay, so I have selected a database and we can see our pop-up is executed. As soon as I will click on OK, our assignment group will get changed. Okay, you can see that database set now. Okay, same way we can execute our different kind of code here, or we can set the value for any field. Suppose we are having channel, service offering, configuration item, any value we can set. We can set additional comments as well whenever any field value is changing. Okay, so we can do any type of activity here. Suppose we can do these all things in on change client script as well, like add info message, add error message, get value for state, set mandatory for category, when our assignment group is changed. Okay, so let me try to save this client script again and let's check how our client script will get executed. So let me change the assignment group again and see how it executes. So you can see the pop-up is displaying, and we will display the state as well. So state is new, the value is 1. Okay, so we can see we have populated some info message and as well as error message here. Okay, and we can see the category is set mandatory. Okay, so we can do lot of things as part of on change client script as well. Okay, and we can do return false here as well, and any client script we can use return false. Okay, so this is all about on change client script and how it is executed, right? So we can proceed further and see how on cell edit client script executes. So let's move further and see another type of client script, that is on cell edit. So let me try to create client script for cell edit. Test client script on cell edit. Okay, so let me select the table as incident again. And now let me select UI type all, and let me select on cell edit. Okay, so now we will see the difference. So function on cell edit is displayed here. Okay, and some parameters started displaying: sysids, table, old values, new value, callback. Okay, so I will tell you about on cell edit and what are all its parameters. Okay, so on cell edit will run on the list editor changes any cell value. Like I have selected a type on cell edit. Now what I will select is like I will select like on change of state. We have to do some alert. So I have selected a state field. On changing this particular state field from list of incidents, this client script will get executed. Okay, so we have to specify parameters like sysids, table, old values, new value, callback. So sysids, what sysids do is like an array of sysid will all be fetched using sysids, and using table, the table of the items being edited. Old values, the old value of the cells being edited. New value, the new value for the cells being edited. Okay, so what is callback? A callback that continues the execution of any other related cell edit scripts. If true is passed as a parameter, the other scripts are executed or the change is committed if there are no more scripts. Okay, if false is passed as a parameter, any further scripts are not executed and change is not committed. Okay, so we have to keep in mind that on Saladit client script do not apply to dashboard list widgets. Okay, and this client script is very rarely used somewhere. Okay, so I will just provide you an example how it is executed. So let me add an alert for on Saladit client script and see what happens. Trying state changes for Saladit. Okay, so let me try to save this client script and see how our client script will get executed on change of state. So let us go to this list layout for incident table, and we can see there is a state field here. So let me click on this state field and try to change the value. So suppose I am trying to change value to in progress. So we are getting an alert, like trying state changes for salaried. Okay, so this is the way how on salaried client script will get executed, and you can see the status changed now. Okay, so this is all about on salaried client script. So I have explained you all types of client script. Okay, and as well as I have explained you about the gform class, like we call it as a glide form class, right? So what glide form class does is like we can retrieve a value like get value, set value, and we can do mandatory settings or make a field read only, write a message on the form like I have shown earlier, show error message, show info message, right? So we can do all kind of things using a glide form class and its methods. Okay, now there is another type of class that is like glide user, g underscore user, where we can fetch the user related details. Okay, so let's check how we can use glide user in our client script. Okay, so let's move further and see. I will take an example of onload for using glide user class. Okay, so let's take example of onload client script, and we can see how we can use glide user class and fetch current logged in user first name, last name, full name, and username. Okay, so let's try to find client script for glide user class. Okay, so let's select incident table here. Okay, and let's just remove this and we will use it as onload client script. Okay, so what I will use is like I will do an alert for g underscore form dot, not g underscore user dot. Okay, we can see we have first name. Okay, so this is our script which I have written. I have written an alert for guser dot first name, guser dot last name, guser dot username, guser dot get full name. Okay, now let's try to save this client script and see how it looks in our form. So let me try to reload this form and see what happens. As you can see, my username is, I will show you what my username is, system administrator. Okay, so here you can see, let me try to reload again. So system administrator is the full name for my current user. So this is the first name, this is the last name, this is the username. Okay, this is the full name. Okay, so this way we can use glide user class as part of client script. Okay, so that's all about client script for ServiceNow, and this is really good thing we can use on client side. Okay, so that's all about client script. Please provide your comment if you have any questions, doubts, or queries related to this session. Thanks for hearing me out. Stay tuned for more videos. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel LearnIT.